emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can only free our own mind. Free yourself from mental slavery. No other person can help you but your own self. How do you go about that? First of all, let me do the introduction. This video was inspired from what I saw on the comment section. In somebody's response on my comment section, he said, Bola Ahmed Tinubu is doing a massive road. He listed the road, the popular coastal road, another one in Maiduguri. My next question is this. You have watched the video. The video of Rufai Oseni as the press man interviewing the Minister of Works, former governor of Ebonyi State. As he was interviewing him, he asked him how much was the cost of per kilometer. The man refused to mention it. We are just working, we are still working on it. We are still working on it. He was jumping. The next thing, either he said we are still working on it, or Rufai, you are a small boy, keep quiet there. He could not account for how much that road, that massive road per kilometer costs. And you want to defend Bola Ahmed Tinubu in my comment section, and you have come up with the roads he has approved. The question I want to ask now is, where those roads that was awarded, those contracts that was awarded, did they follow due process? Was there even a bidding? The process government by themselves put in their own law, this is what we must do to make sure we do the right thing. Did they follow that? How come road, like for example, the coastal road, the company that the road was awarded to, Tinubu's son is a board member of that company. And this is your defense for Tinubu when I said Tinubu is worse than a failure. This is your defense. That I said he's worse than a failure. I have my point. And the reason I start this video with you, free yourself, redeem yourself from mental slavery. You are still a slave to your mind. Let's come to the truth. Maybe you are just an APC member. That identity, I'm an APC member. Some of them will tell me, Ross, no need to talk. If you cut my blood now APC will come out. They will be bold enough to tell me, Ross, if you check my blood now PDP will come out. I remember some guys that were telling me this years ago. Now that PDP is no longer what it used to be. I don't know whether they have drained the blood from their vein. And now some of them they've shifted to saying APC is now in their blood. Just imagine Nigerians. How can you say a party is in your blood? No matter what I say, it doesn't matter. Even when I tell you, look at the critical points, I present it to you. First, was that road, the awarding of that road, did they follow due process? How come they awarded a road where the president is Bola Ahmed Tinubu and a board member in that contract, in that company, is the son? How come? This road, that is all you could present as to the achievement of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Compared to what? Is it compared to how much he has borrowed? Is it compared to the subsidy that was removed? The money that is now accruing because there's no subsidy payment again? Compared to what? I saw a list today of money that have been borrowed since 2015. I almost shed tears because so far, Bola Ahmed Tinubu has borrowed up to 4 trillion? I mean, 100 something trillion. I can't remember the exact figure. So, the reason for this video is you have to free yourself from mental slavery. Free yourself from slavery. And one of the ways to free yourself from slavery is to challenge your internal narratives. One of the ways is to challenge those things that you have believed over time. These things that I believe over time, that I'm an APC member. I'm still broke. I hardly eat. I have more food to eat. Because you are still suffering. Challenge your internal belief system. Is this government really trying? How come my defense is that he has awarded 3 roads, 3 giant roads, according to how my comment section put it. And the whole Nigerians are wallowing in fear because of insecurity. How come cost of living has gone high? over 136 million Nigerians have been plunged into abject poverty. If you can just think of these two, because you are one of them, except you are among the data boys, those people that receive 50,000 monthly to keep defending Tinubu online, to keep defending that your APC governor online, except you belong to those people. How come? My question is, how come you cannot free yourself from mental bondage, internal bondage, mental bondage? Bob Marley sing that song, released that song in 1980. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our own mind. Have no fear for atomic energy. Have no fear for atomic bomb. Nothing will never happen before. Because they cannot stop the hand of time. The day still remain the day, night still remain night. How come we are so afraid of some minor things? Don't tell me you're a coward. The fact speaks for itself. Bola Ahmed Tinubu's government 3 years plus is a failure. It's worse than a failure. It's just worse than failure. There's any other word to describe it. It's worse than failure. Look at, because one of that name that's committed, I can see that name is from the Southwest. Look at what insecurity has become in your area. See what insecurity has become in your area. You cannot do anything about it. And Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2015 told Goodluck Jonathan that everything starts and ends on the table of who is the president. And that is the truth. And today, Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the chief security officer, and so far, so bad, he has not been able to do anything about it. And you are still defending him because I said he's a failure. Please emancipate, free yourself from mental bondage, from mental slavery. If you are talking about what you believe in, check the information you are consuming. That man you are calling my leader, he's the one supplying you those information that is making you hold on to APC strongly. Have you at any time checked this information that you are consuming? Have you checked at what stage is this man sharing this information? For example, in 2022, 2023, Kenneth Okonkwo, the man that started living in bondage, was preaching Peter Obi. That was the information he had for Nigeria then. Check his present narrative. He's now supporting article. Check his information on internet. He's not saying Obi is the head of criminality. Will you believe that kind of person? He has said everything good about the same person 3-4 years ago. Now he's saying opposite of it. If that is your source of information, Obi is going nowhere. Obi is going nowhere. Why come you are believing that kind of narrative? Due to the source. Check the person the information is coming from. You cannot use your head. That song that was released by Bob Marley in 1980, that song is still very relevant today. When I checked Google told me that that song was a speech made by Marcus Garvey, a Pan-Africanist leader. Marcus Garvey, he was an American. He was fighting for the freedom of Africa. As far back as 1937, an American based in USA was fighting for the freedom of Africa. That was when he made that speech, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. Today, unfortunately, Africa is still under bondage of mental slavery. We just conclude that anything that comes from abroad is the best. We conclude that if we don't go abroad, we will not make it in life. Whereas it has no business with abroad. It has everything to do with you. It has everything to do with your mind. How you arrange your mind determines the level of your success. It doesn't matter who is in power. How you arrange your mind determines how far you will go. According to Pastor Chris, he will say, the extent of your imagination, how well you can imagine your good, will determine the boundary of your blessings. If you cannot imagine yourself doing well, succeeding in life, from your inside, you will never succeed in life. Even if you go to UK, Canada, you'll be doing care work, you'll be suffering, you'll be venting your anger, frustration on the people in Nigeria as they tell you, give me money. in the nutshell, you are still not successful. You only any slavery work, any higher. Your mind is still under slavery. It is only when you free yourself from mental slavery. That is when, wherever you are. I used to, when I hear words from my church then on campus, I used to declare, it doesn't matter where I am, I will always succeed. It doesn't matter whether I'm in the desert, I will always succeed. Why was I boasting like that? Because of what I got to know. As I receive information, this information changed my thinking. I got to understand who I am. That it is who I am that determines my success. It is not where I am. I was so grateful for that information I received years back. It's been very helpful to me. So to conclude this video, my message to all of you in my comment section is to free yourself from mental slavery. Deliver yourself from mental slavery. Check informations that you are consuming. Challenge those things that you believe. Pursue your emotional sovereignty. Stop attaching yourself to this leader, that leader, because that's what most boys do. Why most girls, they follow the most emotional information they can follow. Most of the girls, they follow what their boyfriend told them. Why most boys follow what their leader is telling them. Revitalize your mind. Remember that scripture. Remember that scripture. That your transformation will come based on the new information you are consuming. To conclude this video, I still insist that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a colossal failure. His government, 3 years and a half, is a colossal failure. In fact, all that is happening in Nigeria today, that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is doing nothing about. I'm in my office. This is my office. Motivated me to start this video. I never saw myself as somebody that can talk like this. But today, I am talking because I believe I can play a role like this. Once again, my name is Oseobo.